Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dying times here.
This is the speculation video of something killing the children. I'm going to warn you guys and gals, if there's any here, if you haven't read Something's Killing the Children and you want to read it, this is not the video for you, because I am going to reveal some of what happens in Something is Killing the Children. All right, this is going to be my personal opinion on what the major keys are, mainly talking about the cover A's, but I'm going to talk at the end about what Mr. Ross Ritchie says are the most the rarest of Something is Killing the Children. All right, so let's start this off. Again, spoilers ahead, guys. Spoilers ahead. If you want to read it, shut this off, go to another video. Okay, spec value as I see it. All right, first off, I'm not going to be using cover A's until I get to number 11. I'm not going to use cover A's to show some of these scenes. What I do, all right, guys, is I like to purchase trade paperbacks, because with a trade paperback, I don't have to pick up issue number 1 and read it. I don't have to do that. I don't have to pick up issue number 2 and read it and put damage on my book. I don't have to do that, you know. So I like to pick up the trade paperbacks. One of the things that I did wrong back, I mean, we're talking 20 years ago, guys, is that I sold off a lot of books because I was picking up masterworks. So I figured, you know what, I don't need these books anymore, and I sold them off. A lot of Spider-Mans in there, man. A lot of Spider-Mans, a lot of Hulks. And back then, they weren't going for the prices that they're going now. You know, if I didn't think that they were super keys, if I didn't like the character, for example, I sold it. And then now those books are exploding. I have, right now I'm like, should I sell those? Should I sell this one, number 2? Should I sell that one, number 2? I'm struggling with that because this is relatively a really young property, less than 2 years old. Right now, we're only in issue number 18. We're going to issue number 19. And because of COVID, it's less than 2 years old, you know. So really, a lot of what happens in the entire story from 1 through 18, you really don't know how many characters are really going to be super key in the future of Something is Killing the Children. What you do know is that Erica Slaughter is the main character. And let's say this about Erica Slaughter, okay? You're looking at Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman. That's right, guys. That's absolutely freaking right. This is a character that represents her company, Boom Studios. I hold her, as far as the company's concerned, this character is to that company what Batman and Superman are to DC, and what Spider-Man and a character possibly like Wolverine and the Hulk are to Marvel Comics, okay? She is single-handedly, in my opinion, keeping Boom Studios up and running right now. And in my opinion, she is the best character or definitely has the best comic book in today's market, without a doubt. She doesn't have to wear a bikini. She doesn't have to, look scandalously in her covers. Okay, all she is basically a badass character that was conceived by the mind of James Tynion. Let's start this off. Issue number 1 is the first appearance of Erica Slaughter and her little sidekick, James. According to the writer, he named him after himself. This book was printed at 33,648 print run. That's including the unlocked variant, which is that one, and the regular variant, which was by Jay Lee, the red one. According to Ross Ritchie, there was 50,000 print run, including the store variants and every printing that followed it, from the second printing all the way up to the 6th printing. This is the 3rd and the 4th printing. The key is that it's up to the 6th printing. 50,000 up to the 6th printing. Once they came out with the 7th printing, which is the foil, they printed as much as of the foil as they printed of all the printings that preceded it. Then they came out with the 8th printing. The 8th printing, boom, studios went haywire with it. 8th printing brought the print run to 250,000 copies of Something's Killing the Children #1. Will it still garner value, the 8th printing? Yes, it will, because 250,000 print run, for people that missed out, and because of the prices that these other books are going for, people are going to probably want a piece, but it should not warrant the amount of money that anything below the 6th printing will warrant, or above, depending on how you're looking at it. But the 8th printing should be significantly less than, say, the 4th printing or the 3rd printing or the unlocked, and it should also be less than the 7th. Now, I got copies of, you gotta have copies of the 7th and 8th printing anyway. You should, if you even if you're not a fan of Something's Killing the Children, and if you're a speculator, you should own those copies at least, because they were everywhere, In my opinion, though, the keepers are between the 6th and all the way up to the cover A's and the store variants, in my opinion. Then we move on to issue number 2. Issue number 2 is the first appearance of Tommy and the first Octopus. Alright, let's take a look at these guys. Alright, so this is Tommy. Tommy's a guy that looks like he's lost. He lost his sister. His sister was killed, but her body hasn't been found. So she, as of right now, is a missing child. So they're looking for answers of what the heck happened to his sister, him and his mother. The Octopus is this guy right here. Now that is the personification, that might be the wrong word, of her fear. Okay, it's a manifestation, really, of her fear. She summoned it. It is a monster, but that monster was trapped in that octopus, and this is the octopus's first appearance, full appearance. Printing for number 2, which is this book right here, cover A, $24,644. Currently going for $70 to $100 in the raw. Then you go to issue number 3. Oh, this one's actually cool. All right. Erica's name is revealed with Tynan's birthday in issue number 3. Let's look at that. Yeah, you see that? I cross-reference this, of course, because I'm a geek. But that is his birthday. December 14th, 1987 is James Tynan's birthday. And he is from Wisconsin. I found that kind of cool. So the main 2 characters pretty much modeled them after himself, you know. Guy's a freaking genius. All right. Issue number 3. Print run 17,353. It goes raw for $60 to $90 raw. Print run for issue number 3. Then we go to issue number 4. Excuse me. Issue number 4 has a cameo by Aaron. We're going to see that. Now this is his cameo. That's his cane. And that is tattoo in his hand. That's Aaron. That is as most of a significance for that book as there is. 16,079. On raw it goes for $70 to $140 raw. Now, as is the case for all indies, print run just keeps dwindling down after the first one. So we're down to 16,079 for that. Then we move on to issue number 5. That's the first Bian. Now, through Tommy's eyes, we see the factions of the House of Slaughter in the form of masks. I like this issue number 5, okay, because you do get to see black, white, red, blue, and gray masks. It's also a cameo for the leaders of those masks, and the Old Dragon and Cecilia. It's also the lowest print run that I've seen so far, at least on Comic-Con. 14,047 print run. It goes raw for $180 to $315, but keep in mind that these are only cameos. Now let's see those. Alright, so in issue number 5, this is Bian. Bian is found in a cave as she's tracking a monster down, and this is the first time that we see Bian. Appears to be an Asian child. Now she can be a major character later on. Right now, in this first storyline, she wasn't really a huge character, but she was a decent character. Erica took her kind of under her wing, and it's because Bian reminded her of herself and her situation, of how she came into the House of Slaughter also, you know. So I think she took sympathy in it. Now Tommy is more of a comic relief type of character. However, because of the trouble that he was causing in the cave, Jessica did something to him where he could see the monsters. The monsters can only be seen by children or those who are, we're going to put quote, gifted or given something to see them. She injected him or stabbed him with something, and he was able to then see the monsters. And with whatever it is that happened to him, he was able to also see the House of Slaughter in a vision. So you can see that in issue number 5. That's Cecilia, which we find out later on who she is. We don't know who that is. That is a cameo of the Old Dragon. That right there is Aaron, or should be Aaron anyway. That right there, in my opinion, that is a character named Jesse, who we meet in Something's Killing the Children, number 18. Number 18 is a backstory. It goes back in time. Right now, he has a receding hairline, right? Or he has very little hair. In number 18, in the past, it appears that he had a, well, not appears, he definitely had a ponytail. I'm assuming that that's the same character, but I don't know for a fact that that's the case. And then we see this other character in a gray mask, and we don't know who that character is either. But this is definitely the old dragon. This is what I would call a cameo of this group, right? And those are the leaders of those particular factions of the House of Slaughter. That's issue number 5. Issue number 5. Then we go to number 6. Number 6 is the first full House of Slaughter, in my opinion, and the Order of St. George. I'll show you guys that. And it is also the first full appearance of Cecilia and the first full appearance of Aaron. Print run on that is $14,365, and it's currently going for between $80 to $120 in the raw for issue number 6. So this is issue number 6. They are in Chicago, and that's the House of Slaughter. Then you go into the house. Inside the house, there's paintings on the wall, and this is a painting of St. George. Now, St. George is a character in myth. Different cultures have a St. George. You know, in a way, Beowulf is almost like St. George also. It's a character that came into a town to fight Grendel, a monster that was terrorizing the town, right? St. George is similar, except it takes on religious tones, right? In some of the instances, in some cultures, he fights a dragon, and this is the story that they're taking. St. George and his horse, and he is slaying the dragon. It's a monster that was killing children. This is the Order of St. George. In my opinion, that's the first, if you want to say, key appearance of the Order of St. George. That's the representation of the Order of St. George. That is the first real appearance of Aaron, full appearance, and this is the first full appearance of Cecilia, even though we kind of saw her in a cameo in the book before that. Over here, they talk to each other, they name each other, they're talking about the job that Erica's doing, and she pretty much tells Aaron, look, you're gonna have to go over there and fix this situation up, that straighten everything up, that our stray, they call her a stray. That is Erica Slaughter right there as a kid. They have painting of her up in the House of Slaughter. That's issue number 6. Then we move into issue number 7 and number 8. All right. Number 7 and number 8 are only good reads, in my opinion. However, I could not get print runs for number 7, 8, and 9, and the reason is because of COVID. Comic-Con lost their mojo, man, during COVID too, just like everybody else did. They did not print runs for these, you know, circulation numbers for these. Nothing significant really happens in 7 and 8. They're going right now. Number 7 is going for between $60 and $80. And number 8 is a very hard book to find. Keep in mind, we're talking about the cover A's. It goes for between $30 to $50 if you find it, but it's very hard to find number 8, even in a cover A. Okay, keep that in mind, even though nothing significant really happens in that book. Number 9, however, to me is one of the key books. This is Jessica's cameo. Jessica is Erica's mentor. Her first cover appearance is in the second print, and the second print goes for between $30 and $80, the second print. Let's take a look at her. Look, guys, when I say nothing significant happens in a particular issue, I'm talking about, like, say, first appearances or any spec value. The story itself, every book is entertaining. You know, my favorite book is number 14, and there's no first appearances there. There's nothing of speculation value in it, except for the fact that it's a freaking phenomenal book. You know, it's the best story in the entire in the entire line for me is number 14. All right, this is still number 9, issue number 9, and you see a little glimpse of Erica's past, of what she was doing, a little glimpse of her origin as she's thinking about it. And you see, this is the cover for the second print of issue number 9, and that, my dear friends, is Jessica Slaughter, her mentor. Okay, she was supposed to kill her there, but she didn't. And this is why I think that specifically it has to be the second print. Has to be the second print. But that's the key, in my opinion, and that's the only thing that happens. But because that would be her first cover appearance, that would be the one that I go after. Okay. Again, there's no print run on those, so we move over to number 10. And Aaron gets dissected here. So a lot of people were going after the House of Slaughter for Basilisk or something. What's the name of that book? It had a second printing, and it had a House of Slaughter cameo on it. I believe that Aaron was the guy on the cameo, I believe. All right. But Aaron, I'll show you what happens to Aaron in number 10. Alright, so this is Aaron facing off against the monsters. Looks badass, right? But in the next page, unfortunately for Aaron, he gets a good hit right there. But then his arm really gets sliced off, and then they just go to town on him. Oof. Dismantled, my friend. No more Aaron. Aaron didn't last too long in this story. Alright. That's why I wouldn't go after that book, that Basilisk second printing, because, I mean, unless Aaron comes back, I mean, it is comics. Does he have superhuman powers? Can he, I don't know, is he like a phoenix, where he could resurrect himself? I'm not sure. I don't think so. That book is going between $10 and $35. It's got a high estimate in Comic-Con of 25,000 print run. Now you notice that the print run now goes from where we can see the last print run on number 6 was 14,000 and change. Now it's 25,000 print run in a high estimate. So the print runs are going up. From here on, the print runs become much higher. Number 11. It's the first full old dragon. Comic-Con has the high estimate at 47,000. print run. It also has a cameo of what I believe is Maxine from the White faction, White Mask faction. And it also has a cameo of 10 members of the White Masks in the White Room. Okay, let's see that. Okay, so you're back at the House of Slaughter. I'm using the cover A for this, alright, but yeah, I don't have the trade paperback for 11 to 15. I'm gonna get the hardcover, but it hasn't come yet. So this is Cecilia going to speak to the old dragon. That's him right there. That's his first full appearance. And after the conversation that they have, of course, it's about Jessica and about what happened to Aaron, and how Aaron is no longer with us. Now, he's eating something here that we don't really know what that is, but it looks nasty, man. It's the nasty old man. His monster's there with him also. And then you see Cecilia go into, she passes by the black room. Right across is her room, the white room. You know it's the white room because she has a white mask, bandana, if you will. And this is key, okay? This is key. You see 10 members, I counted them all. 10 members of the White faction. You want to call it a faction? One of these, I believe, is Maxine, and I think that might be her in the back right there. Now, you don't see her. I could be wrong about that being Maxine. Maybe she was in the restroom at this moment. But there are 10 people here, and you see the faction right there, and that's the reason why this particular book may be a key if you find it in good condition. That's number 11. All right. Then we go over to number 12. The White Masks arrive. No names yet, so there's no names given to them yet. We do see that Cecilia is a cold-blooded bitch. This issue had 50. Oh yeah, this is key for number 12. Okay, this issue had 50,000 reprints. Boom found out that there was a rip in one of the inner pages in the first, you know, when they put this out. So they recalled them, and they put out, you know what, did they recall? I don't know if they recalled, but I know they reprinted 50,000. So there should be probably around 100,000 of number 12 around. All right, and some of them are going to have a rip. So if you have a rip on one of yours, that's part of the defective prints of the first prints that came out. There is no second print. It's just that they reprinted number 1, right? So it's still first prints. They just made more, you know. Then you go to number 13. There's no estimate, by the way. After number 11, Comic-Con doesn't have any numbers after that as far as print run is concerned. Number 13 is a key, okay? Number 13 is the first appearance of Maxine. She's revealed as a ranking member of the White Masks. Below Cecilia, first full Maxine. Let's take a look at that. All right, my dear friends, this is Maxine. And she is also cold-blooded. Appears to be anyway. Well, they're doing what the Order of St. George, what they pretty much devoted themselves to do. But everybody's looking for guidance from her, so she's definitely a leader. What do we do now, Maxine? You know, and she instructs them on what to do. Alright, so that's Maxine. Then we go to number 14. In my opinion, the best read of the entire story. But as far as first appearances or anything like that, nothing happens as far as first. Number 15, it is implied that Jessica was sent on a mission that killed her. So that's just an implication that the old dragon is discussing with Erica on what happened to Jessica. And yeah, that's the end of the first chapter of Something is Killing the Children. Then we move on to issues number 16, 17, and 18, which is the origin of Erica Slaughter. So number 16 is the full origin. Now, there's no print numbers, but in my opinion, I think those print numbers are probably going to be, for number 16, about 150,000, at least 100,000 for that. Minimum 100,000 in my opinion. Okay. Number 17 is the first appearance of Ada Slaughter. That's Jessica's mentor. And number 18 is the first Jesse. He's a blue mask. And the first Buck. Buck just appears to be like his little guard dog. Number 16 also is the first full appearance of Jessica Slaughter, but remember that she appeared in the cover of the second print of number 9. All right, so out of all of those, what I did is I put them in order of what I believe to be my keys. Okay, this is what I perceive at what's number 1, number 2, right? So of course the first one is the first appearance of Erica, right? But then after that, I look at what characters are marketable for spec value. What characters or events are marketable for spec value. In my opinion, Jessica is a character that is marketable, you know. Is she really dead? Well, we haven't seen her dead. Now they might show her dying in this one coming right now. They might show her dying. Yeah, in comics, a lot of characters don't really stay dead. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case for Boom Studios, but I think there's more story to tell about Jessica than they've shown so far. That would be my second book to get. My third one would be number 6. That's the first full appearance of the House of Slaughter, Cecilia and Aaron. My fourth one would be number 5. That's the first Bian and the faction of the different factions of the house with the cameos. They're in number 5. The next one would be number 2. That's the first Tommy and Octopus. That would be that one right there. And the last one would be number 13. That is the first full appearance of Maxine. And I think Maxine might be a character that becomes marketable. First of all, she's in a position of power already, because she's kind of like a lieutenant for her group, or a captain if you want to call her like that. And maybe Cecilia is the general, you know. But Maxine might be a character that we see later on that becomes something. So number 13, especially for the prices that they're going for, number 12 and on you can get for cover price, you know, for the first prints. Then we go to this group. All right, so this one's just something that I put out before, but have to make it a part of this video because it's that important. So this is according to Ross Ritchie, the rarest Something's Killing the Children books. in incentives. All right. So we go. This is what he named. Now he didn't say which one is more rare than the other. He just put out a list. So, Something's Killing the Children. This is the decal variant. Something's Killing the Children. Wait, that's number 8. I'm sorry. Something's Killing the Children number 6, 1 in 25. Number 7, 1 in 20. The Rios variant. The second printing of number 4. No, that's actually this is the last one that he put out. This is the 4th printing of number 2. That's this one. That's the 4th printing of number 2. Okay. So the numbers that I put out here is, this is in my opinion. In my opinion. I put this one as number 1, even though it's expensive. This is the Jenny Frison 1 in 25, number 6. This is the one where she's holding the chainsaw. All right, and it's a looks like a Virgin type cover, but it's with a color splash. It goes for a lot of money, but because it's a number 6, and what did we discuss with number 6? It is the first full appearance of the House of Slaughter. First Cecilia, first Aaron. Right, so that's why I put that as the number 1. This is really, really expensive book, though. Super expensive. Number 2, another expensive book. You know what? Come to think about it, all of these are expensive, except maybe for that one. And the number 4, second printing. All right, but not as expensive as the rest of them. This one is the decal cover. The most beautiful cover, in my opinion, of Something's Killing the Children is that one, number 8, 1 in 25. If you're willing to dish out $1,500 for that book, easily $1,500, that is the only reason why I didn't put that as number 1. The other thing that it's got going for it is that you don't see that around too much. Like number 8, even for the cover A, you don't really see that one being thrown around a lot. You don't, you know. So yeah, the third one for me is the number 2, 4th printing, which is this one. And the only reason really is because, you know, that's the first Octopus and the first Tommy. Tommy is one of those characters that Tommy, at the end of the storyline in number 15, he goes to prison. He takes the blame for the monsters in order to save his town. He becomes a martyr, right? So, but that doesn't mean that he's going to stay in prison. You know, the guy was injected or stabbed with whatever serum that was that makes him see monsters. So to say that his story is done might be an error. Remember, this guy served as first comic relief. I mean, it started out really serious because of his, you know, sister dying and stuff, but comic relief really is what he served. But then at the end, he became a hero. You know, he was that guy that became the hero of the story, or a hero of the story. So yeah, he might be a character that we see again in the future, in my opinion. All right, at number 4 we have the second printing of number 4, and at number 5 I put a book that I gave my opinion to The Secret Jedi. Pete. I said, man, I'm sorry, Pete. I know I said, yeah, go ahead and sell it. Damnation, man. Damnation. But I put that one as number 5. It's one of the rarer books. Who knew it was going to go to the heights that it's gone so far as prices go. I am sorry, my friend, but you know what? I know that Pete has a number 6, not the Jenny Frizen, but he does have the number 6, the Virgin of, where is it? He's got the Virgin of this. And you know what? Keep that one, my friend. Keep that one, please. Keep it. Okay, so would I rather spend $1,500 on the decal versus going after a number 1, a true number 1? You know what? I don't know. I don't know. That decal is a beautiful freaking cover, man. That is a beautiful cover. Maybe I should have just put that decal number 1, right? You know, it's tough. It was tough between the Jenny Frizen and the decal 1 and 2. But would I rather have that? I don't think you can go wrong on it. I don't think you can. However, if it was, let's say, all right, so let's pick one of the books over here, right? Let's pick one of these books. So right now, the number 5, that's the first Bian, and then it's the cameos for the House of Slaughter masks, right? On the high end, that's going for $315, right? So would I rather, as a raw we're talking about, would I rather spend $315 on that book, or let's say use that money to get a 9.8 of the 4th printing of number 1? For me, it's a no-brainer. That one's a no-brainer. I would always go after the 4th printing of the number 1 over a raw of a number 5. Even though Bian could end up being her pupil. It's a possibility, not out of the question, right? She could end up being a mentor to Bian. Again, that's just speculation. We don't know what the future brings. Tynan might not even know if he wants to do that, you know. But because of that, because it's future Spec, I would go after that book, or a book like the 3rd print or the 2nd print for $315. Even the 5th print, 6th print, I don't think you can get for $315 raw. 6th print has been talked about by different speculators, so I think they have people believing that that's rarer than the other ones. I'm not sure if it is or not, to tell you the truth. I didn't do research on that, but thing I don't like about the 6th print is that you don't see Erica Slaughter there in anything in the 6th print. Over here you could see her in the reflection of the blood, and over here, of course, she's in the mouth of a monster, you know. But yeah, you know, you have to take it into consideration of what it is that you perceive as the better key. Case in point, I have the 2nd print as my number 2 key of Something's Killing the Children. I have the 2nd print of number 9 as my number 2. You might think it's number 6, and who am I to tell you that you're wrong? You know, I have the first Bian at number 5 as my fourth one, you know, and so on and so on. You know, some people might say, hey man, Octopus is a much more important, you know, character than say Jessica. You know, who am I to say that you're wrong by saying that? This is only my opinions, you know. I happen to think that Maxine, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be looking for number 13s, because you could get number 13s for a cover price, guys. Why not? Take a chance on number 13 and pick up Maxine for, you know, a lot less than you will maybe later when she's seen in a show, you know. That's actually, you know what? After I make this video, I'm going right to eBay and picking up some more number 13s, buddy. Let's see, what else did I leave out? All right, so this one here is my personal favorite cover for Something's Killing the Children. I don't own the decal, okay? But it's a book that I'm considering getting. But instead of getting like books like the decal, I've decided to go after the number 1s. Now this is one of the first ones that I went after. This is the foil of the Unlocked. This is the Unlocked regular. See her eyes? Greenish eyes right there. Or eye. See that right there? It's freaking awesome, man. She is staring into your soul. My goodness. Take me. Take me. Alright. So only 300 of these were made, but because it's a store variant, I think that's the reason why it's not higher than this one or some of the other ones. The ALA, American Library Association, I do not own that. I did bid on it twice already, but I was only willing to go up to $3,500 for it. Other people, of course, for a 9.8 we're talking about, other people, of course, had different ideas. I don't know if in existence there are less of these that there are of the ALA. What I do know is that less of the ALA have come out in the field in real time, or at least we're talking about the internet here, okay? Less have come out of that than these. You've seen this more, even though right now you don't see this that much anymore. And I said this before, once this gets into the hands of collectors, you're just not going to see them. You're not going to see them. American Library Association, there was 1,000 printed, 220, I believe, were damaged. So supposedly 780 still remain. There are some that I saw that are not in the greatest condition. If you happen to have one of the American Library Association copies, I'm talking to you, L. Sid Vicious. Happened to get one of those. And yeah, man, that's probably going to be the most expensive book in the entire lot. Probably. 10 years from now, this one might make a run at it. I am not selling any of mine. Alright, I believe that much in this character. Now, is this character overvalued right now? That's a big question. And I don't have the answer to that. In my opinion, I think she is. I think she is, only because it's a character that's 2 years old. So in my opinion, yeah, I do believe it is. But when LaMelo Ball's rookie goes for $30,000 or more, right? I don't invest in sports cards anymore. Why? Because they disappoint. Players will disappoint. Not saying that LaMelo Ball is going to disappoint, but you get players that get caught with foreign substances like steroids. Card goes boom. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Right? You get guys that beat their wives. I mean, you got guys that there's different instances. I don't want to keep saying it because people are going to think I'm talking about a particular player. But players can disappoint. They could disappoint in the field too, One guy can have a great season one season. The next season, he's not so great anymore, And then, of course, there's the things that you can't control, is injuries, Guy breaks his leg or whatever, he's not the same guy anymore. And if you're into that player deep in your pocket, you're going to feel it big time, Spider-Man never disappointed me, He never beat the crap out of Mary Jane. If he breaks his leg, he heals pretty quick. By the next issue, he's healed probably. You remember the Hulk when he was wearing crutches, Secret Wars in the first one? Well, all he needed to do was get angry, and he healed. He healed from that. Erica Slaughter's not going to disappoint me. Erica will only make me happy. Wait a minute, that didn't sound right. That doesn't sound right, man. But I mean, really, she's not going to disappoint. Like, as far as that goes, I prefer a comic book over a mega sports star, unless it's already somebody that's established, like a Michael Jordan, and you just happen to be lucky that you got a card like that anyway, But your Babe Ruth and the great ones, the true great ones, I think this right here, yeah, man, that's Derek Jeter you're looking at right there. If you're looking at sports cards, I would rather pay if I was given $30,000 and said, hey, you want to put this on LaMelo Ball or you want to put it on Something's Killing the Children. I'll go ahead and I'll buy 20 of these for $30,000 and leave the LaMelo out there. Let somebody else take the risk on LaMelo. So is it overvalued? Just because of what I'm used to in comics terms, I would say probably yes. Can it go down? Absolutely it can. Absolutely. You know what? They put a show up in on Netflix supposedly, and it's not done correctly. They don't kill any kids, and she's soft. Yeah, I think this is probably gonna take a dive. So it is a risk that you take by purchasing a character like this. What you hope is that the director, the producers get it right, because if they get it right, it's a can't miss prospect. It's can't miss. You can't drop this ball if you get it right. You can't. But kids are gonna have to die and get ripped open. Yes. Oh yes. It's not for kids. This is not something that kids should be watching. on Netflix, but adults are gonna love it, and teenagers are gonna be wearing those bandanas, and it won't just be girls. You're gonna see me with one of those. I'm gonna be the old dragon. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I put a lot of time into this one. Yeah. Pete, please check your emails, man. Check your emails. Please. Bye-bye.